Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody bought this file. Matter of fact, they bought a lot of files. They were supposed to be cut ready for a plasma cutter. It's a bunch of junk, to be honest with you. I would get back to them and get my money back. There are so many problems. Let's ungroup this thing. Go up to object. It can be fixed, but it would take a lot of work. Look at the nodes just on this curve. If we select all these, we can't even have a hard time selecting. Just says there's 107 objects on layer 1. This would be a plasma cutting nightmare. If you've never plasma cutted before, plasma cutter cuts from node to node to node. There's not only nodes, there's nodes on top of nodes. Whenever you see a node like that that's a double node, it's a node that doesn't need to be there. If he really wants to cut this out, it's big, it's 70 inches by 30 inches. I'm going to set my nudge factor on, I want it completely off the page. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 100 inches. Let's make sure. Well, that's too far. It's only 30, so let's make it just 45. And let's just see how far it nudges it over. Okay, we're good. There are so many problems, and it's not even a perfect drawing. I thought I saw some earlier on. See it. This right here would give you trouble in a plasma cutting. If you had to cut, that's a really sharp point. And not only that, a lot of it leaks. So there's a lot of interior parts and exterior parts. The exterior parts would be this. Look at all the parts it's leaking into. Let's go back and look. I mean, there's parts in here that they're just leaking. So there's a bunch of parts that need to be dealt with that away. Let's, for instance, I'm trying to find something we can work with. Let's take this one right here. That doesn't leak. Does its counterpart on the other side leak? No. Let's find something that leaks. This is going to leak because I can see leaks. But see, it even got into the ones that we'd already done. So what my suggestion to fix this would only be to fix half of it, because it is a symmetrical piece. So let's take a 2-point line and draw a line and hit P and put it in the center of the page. That gives us a half. Now, if it was symmetrical the other way, we could fix it all. But we're going to take the virtual segment delete key and we're going to delete this half. Whoop, went too far. Let me not get quite as close, and then I'll zoom in. You need to get every piece of this deal without, and you not only need to get every piece, you need to get all the way to the line. It might be easier to do it, just get right up to the line as you're zoomed in and zoom back out. And this will make a little bit of sense just here in a minute, because we're only going to have to fix half of it. But later on, we're going to need every one of these lines gone. We don't want anything sticking over. Any minute little piece will cause us havoc. See, I went too far. And so there's leaking and there's double lines. Well, maybe I haven't found any double lines yet, but normally when that, and then you also got to think about when you're plasma cutting. See, that to me is a double line when it won't cut all the way through the first time. All right. Now we need to fix things. So let's do this. We've still got a box around. Let's see what leaks. See, so much is leaking. So my suggestion would be able to take the inner parts, or let's do this first. let's move our box out of the way. It shouldn't be leaking. Let's move our line out of the way for a second. Let's grab all this. Let's go up to the shape tool. Let's select them all. Let's go up to Windows, Dockers, Join Curves. And I've got mine set on 0.1, which should work. And it joined them. Now let's move this back and see if that fixed our leaks. Yep. There's one, maybe a leak right in here. Let's do that again and look. So there's a leak right in here, but it fixed most of them. Let's see if we can't see this leak. See right here, probably. This would kill you in a plasma cutter. There's a line that's past there, and it's probably not touching. So let's do this. Let's take a 2-point line and put it like right there. Then we can cut this. First of all, I need to turn everything into a hairline. So I'm going to select everything and turn it into a hairline. Because we're going to have to do that anyway to cut. Now I see a little nodule right there. I left something left. Delete that. Easier said than done. Now let's go back to where that leak was. See if we can find it. I can't even remember where it was. Well, let's just do this. Smart Fill is right here. So just keep your eye on that and zoom in. And see, this is a closed object, but if we take the Smart Fill tool, it's not closed. So let's grab just that object, grab it with the shape tool. See all the nodes? We're going to reduce nodes in a second. Now let's try it. Nope, still leaks. It's a bad leak. I think it's still in this corner. There it is right there. Maybe my hairline had something to do with it. So what I'm saying is, if you're only going to use one of these files, it could be done. I'm trying to close those nodes. Now let's see if it leaks. Nope, we fixed the leak. So my suggestion would be to check everything for leaks. That looks good. You know, go through here. I'm not going to do the entire thing for him. Go through here and try to, we got another leak. Or that might even be an outside. Yeah, that's an outside type curve. So my suggestion is, let's back up. We need to reduce the nodes. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to move my box out of the way. And I'm going to grab all this and then grab it with the shape tool. I wish I could, it has 54 objects. There's no telling how many nodes there are. Let's do this. There's 65 nodes on that little bitty piece that is only 4+ inches long. So one way we can go to edit, select all nodes. Well, I had something picked. Let's maybe engulf it. Edit, select all nodes. Now let's go right up here to reduce nodes, and I'm going to go 25. I normally go 20. We might have to do these individually. See, we still got a lot of nodes. I think you might have to do these individually, but it's not even going to let us. This is a like I was saying, if you're only going to use this file, you might be okay. I'm going to type in 20. Look at the difference in the nodes. That would cut out. I would still play with it a little bit and, round off, because then it would be your piece of work. And then go through the whole thing and do that. Reduce nodes. Look at that. Now there are only 2 nodes where there was 100. And it's all done. So just go through there and check your nodes. Then one of my problems is that this thing is too, what's weird about it? Okay, here's a broken line. So we need to shift select both these, select everything, and apply. Maybe that won't work. Maybe I just got to pick on the 2 that are, okay, it's a bad drawing. There's nodes right there. And that's why it wouldn't seal up. Because my concern, I would almost think this is going to leak. No, it doesn't. It's good. Now let's take it. And okay, here's what we can do here. Smart fill it. Nudge it out of the way. Left click, right click. Get rid of the old one. Like I keep saying, this is going to be a lot of work. But if you have a customer that wants to buy this, and there's also a lot of cutting. So now we can reduce the nodes. And we'll just go 20 again. Look at the difference. Now, going back to that, that's awful thin for a torch to get through there twice. So what I would do is just alter it a little bit, your drawing. And just remember, we're altering just half of it. We'll only have to do that once, because when we get everything else done, look at 40 nodes. Reduce nodes to 20. I've never figured out if this is a percentage. I've gone 25 a couple of times. This thing's pretty close to the other. So after you've cleaned up all your nodes, let's just clean up the nodes on this one. 20. We need to alter this. And, this is where you can kind of make it your own drawing. And the least amount of nodes you have, the least amount of nodes you have, the better. Just take that one. It's not liking that. So we can so if you ever have that happen, right click, turn this into a cusp, and then it will only move one handle at a time. So break that apart and look, look everything over, after you've done all the nodes, and it's going to take, what I would do is fix it all and then nudge it out of the way. That way you'll know which ones you fixed. Now, it's not too close. I thought it was, it's pretty close. And here's another little hiccup. Delete those 2 nodes. Maybe take that node and move it over there. Try to get stuff further away. For the torch to go in there twice, unless you're a better plasma cutter than, almost everybody's a better plasma cutter than myself, but look at it. It's just unbelievable how many nodes. I turned that into 4 nodes. Okay, you've done all, so what I was saying about nudging it over, let's do one. Let's fix it. You still got it selected, nudge it over. Then, go to the next one, fix it, 20%. Nudge it over. That one's already been fixed. Nudge it over. Fix this one. It won't take that long when you're doing it like this. Nudge it over. Okay, so let's say we've done the whole panel. Whoa, if you ever move anything, move it back. Let's move this back. Now let's move this back. So I've nudged the whole time. I've never, we don't really need that anymore. I would make them all red, and you'd make sure it's your hairline. I would go ahead and group this together, Control G, while holding down the Control button, flip it over. I didn't Control D. Control D to duplicate it, get the two-sided arrow and flip it over. Now the only ones we have to worry about are the half ones, the ones we cut. And we can very easily, okay, I have to ungroup it. Let me ungroup everything. I know this for people that won't ever do this is boring, but hopefully this will help him. But I would strongly suggest you see. Here's the look at the ones we didn't fix and the ones we did fix. So the only thing you need to worry about are the nodes at the cut. Grab them both and hit apply. Make them one node. And then you could actually delete that node because it's not going to change anything. And they'll have to do the same thing. If we would have fixed this centerpiece first, we wouldn't have a problem with this. But see, there's nodes on this side and nodes on that side. Hopefully we can just select them and hit apply. But really, I should have fixed all the nodes first. I should have fixed all the nodes on the center section, reduce the amount of nodes. But then once you're done, it should look like this, which is pretty nice. I don't think we have any leaks. What you can do is you can actually nudge that out of the way, and you can left click, right click, and you can look at it side by side. So this one is almost ready to cut, with the exception that we've got some nodes that still need to be cleaned up. It's a lot of work, but really if I didn't have to talk and try to slow down and get a little bit of knowledge out there, I could have already been done with this piece. See, that's already joined together, and that's a center section. But see how you could reduce these nodes? That didn't change the drawing any. Anyway, I truly hoped that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.